Good morning, everyone. How are you? Kashikere kotokoraka, koshikere erururunshtea, shotokotaka, seno ukarikinde, shikadokonata. I'm back in Virginia. Feels good to be home. Asekito tokotaki ataka shukotakai. When I was traveling in Guatemala, a lot of our U.S. birds were migrating through, which is really fun. Tanagers and orioles, warblers, swallows, lots of things. Takatu ishikito ne takite ishikita kotuko nakata. Nde shikita kutiki kegotaka kushkota tatata. Now they're back here and they're all singing and it's super fun. Kori ishikara uhunokate takashka, takashka, takashka. It's a beautiful time to go out and witness the miracle of migration. And celebrate with them this beautiful spring. Sena otahana atae. It feels good. Gashkito takatishkere. Amarakere kishkere tohurata, rata tikera. Some gentle energies for just being in place, being where you are. Juza katiere ki tota tanatai, shusha herete. There's nothing wrong with thinking about the past or thinking about the future. Those can be fun things. As long as you don't spend all your time in either of those. Replaying events in your mind or role-playing over and over what you might do in the future. Instead of being present. And this is, my guides are saying, this is one way that time is not fixed, because when you're thinking about the past and thinking about the future and being here now, kotakitikia, that is one example of time not being fixed. That it's always in flow. We can always access older times. I know a lot of people say time doesn't exist. And that's actually not what my soul self has said. It's all accessible at all times. However, we do have cause and effect, which is related to the concept of time. There's a subtlety there that maybe I don't fully get, but that's what I've picked up from my guides. For my soul. Amitaki shikudukuna katai, jukotahele ikiri, kur ana, hur ana. Because there's something about it, letting go of the concept of time is good. Kale ikitiki rakuto, hutake, but it's also important to be in our now. And if you think, oh, time doesn't matter, then maybe it's okay to just think about the past all the time. And that's not ideal. So the concept of time is very helpful. And to reflect on your choices. There's often no judgment about choices. It's just choices and then cause and effect. And then learning. What happened when you did this? What happened when someone else did that? We come here to experience and learn. So allow those experiences to unfold. Doing your inner work. Kale ikirikite, and getting more in alignment with your soul path. Shishashikutakaya will allow your journey to be more of what you desire. Instead of fighting against the it's not inevitability, but the tendency of where you wanted to go on your soul path. Zakotake, things aren't fixed in place. You weren't destined to do X, Y, and Z. Kushki takareta, you may have developed a plan before you came here, but they're all just potentialities, hopes and dreams. And yes, sometimes they're steering you in directions. But it's not all preordained, otherwise that would take away our free will. There are guiding structures of where we wanted to go. Kind of like if you go in a meeting and they have an agenda, but it can change and go here and there. It depends on who's in the room, what their individual choices are, etc. So it's not fully decided, but some of it are things that you and your soul had chosen to work on in this lifetime. So you tend to gravitate toward those things. It doesn't mean you can't change those mid-course. If you make requests of the universe, to modify that, or tell them you need a little break from something, I have found that to be helpful. And sometimes when we do that, take that break to reassess, to figure out what our true priorities are, more things open up. And sometimes we find new ways of addressing those pieces of understanding that we wanted to work with in this lifetime. There's more than one way to accomplish a goal. And a lot of times the specific people are there to help us. And if you can't figure it out with the first person, someone else may step up as a soul to help you. So much of the time we get wrapped up in the individual and sekana and not step back and see them as a soul in providing you with a service of understanding and deeper learning. So instead of being mad at a certain individual, step back and ask, how has this person being in my life affected my understanding? Sukutikia, my learning, ishikendo und are, itekishe, my own decision making. Jukotrara ahale ahora, how have I benefited from this relationship? Sometimes you learn what you don't want to do. You learn what choices you don't want to make. You learn what's not acceptable. So those are good learning. And sometimes through those experiences, we become empowered to make new decisions, new choices. To work through our fears and insecurities, and our anxieties. So that's just a bit of learning that I've had over the years from my soul, my guides. That's how they explain it to me. It's not always the same that is explained to other people, but that's how my soul has explained it. So I hope that is helpful as another kind of data point for how souls regard these types of things, these types of relationships, these soul journeys, kind of why you incarnated, and what that might look like to an individual. So I hope that helps, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.